Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to From the Nosebleeds. I'm Joey Gunnar here with Trent Finnegan. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. You know, I said it's a happy Tuesday, but I can't help but feel a little bit sad because this is going to be my last show with you, Trent. I'm a little bit sad about it, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a somber day, but we're gonna finish it off on a high note. It's gonna be a good one. Got new things coming for myself, but happy to be here one last time, give it one last roll with you. So let's do a good one.
Definitely exciting for you, Trent. Moving forward, it's going to be a lot of fun seeing what happens for you in your career. From the Nosebleeds will still be here. I'll still be here with a flurry of different co-hosts coming in and helping out, doing some really fun shows coming forward in the future. But today's going to be a really fun one because Trent and I are going to end this duo with a bang. And it's going to be a fun conversation because we get to talk about the Broncos. I mean, we don't have shows for the next 3 days. Thank you, Thanksgiving week, for having that come. And now we get to look forward and look at this Commanders game coming up on Sunday. I am really excited for this game because the Broncos should come out hot. They should come out angry, and they should come out looking for a big, big win in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and the big thing to watch is going to be the quarterback thing. You know, Jaden Daniels returned yesterday, but it's a long shot that he's going to play against the Broncos. And he had that nasty dislocation of his elbow, which I saw that and I was like, they're having a bad season. Like, he should just be out. And he's returning to practice this week. Don't play him against this Broncos pass rush. We all know what this Broncos pass rush brings to the table. And a guy whose elbow just got turned into Swiss cheese, I think the last thing he wants to see is Nick Bonito, Zach Allen, John Franklin Myers, and Jonathan Cooper snap after snap after snap. So it's likely gonna be Marcus Mariota, who he's been a journeyman veteran quarterback this year. That's what he's been playing like, you know, and we'll always remember the 2014 Marcus Mariota of old, but it hasn't been great this season, definitely. So Broncos should be able to tee up and feast on him. Yeah,
no, definitely. And, you know, the injury part of it, that really sucks because what you want to see is the two rookie of the year candidates going at each other. That's a fun matchup, and that's a fair matchup. You know, people are going to maybe look at this when the Broncos inevitably win it against this injured Commanders team. They're going to look at this and put a little asterisk next to it saying, you know, how good of a win actually was this? But that's not what matters when the Broncos are in a position right now. They've proven they can win at the highest level. They've beaten the Eagles. They dominated the Cowboys. They beat the Chiefs. This is a team that we know is proven. They know, or we know that they can make a deep run in the playoffs. So wins like this, games like this, doesn't matter if the style points aren't there. Doesn't matter if you're going up against a backup quarterback. What matters is getting the win. Now is a point, you know, early in the season, I made it a point to say you got to have some emphasis to your wins. Now, when you're in a position like you are, where you're fighting for that number one seed, just get into the left side of the column. Just get that W right there. Some more on the injuries, though. PS2, he might be coming back this weekend. I mean, it's about that time, you know, from what the estimate said, he could very well come back and help even more to lock down Marcus Mariota. That would be a huge impact to this Broncos defense, especially going up against a team that doesn't really have much in the passing room. It's just going to be worse for them.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, there was a report last week that said him and Alex Singleton were both targeting this game for a return, which both would be huge. Somebody's tried to get Sean Payton to spill yesterday. We know Sean Payton. We know Sean Payton's not going to talk about injuries unless he absolutely has to. And obviously a normal week, injury reports come out Wednesday afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock or whatever. And somebody at 10 a.m. yesterday tried to get Sean Payton to spill, and he was like, I'm not. He was not given any insight. So it would be great to have Singleton, to have Surtain back. We know that they're focal parts of this defense, but at the same time, it's the Commanders, it's the Raiders. If you have to sit them for both games to make sure they're super, super healthy, then so be it. That's fine by me. We know that this team can win without those guys, and there's bigger games on the horizon where they're going to need them. December 14th against Green Bay in 3 weeks is kind of the next, like, hey, like, let's wake up. Like, we're not playing Washington and Vegas anymore. So to me, obviously, I think they're going to play before then. But if for some reason Surtain's pec is bugging him a little bit, Singleton has a bad day of recovery, whatnot, no need to rush. You need him back for Green Bay on December 14th. You don't need him these next 2 weeks. It would be great to have him, especially with Mariota. No rush.
Yeah, I think if there's even like 25% of like the training staff's thoughts saying maybe we should keep him out an extra week, do it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason to rush a recovery. Even again, if you're saying, yeah, he's 75% of me is saying he's okay. You know what I mean? Let him rest another week if he really has to. There's no rush. This is a game that the Broncos should be able to win without them. They're opening up as 6.5-point favorites. That I feel like is a low number. I'm being sorry. We saw what the offense was able to do up against the Chiefs, who have a very solid defense. You saw what this defense is able to do up against the Chiefs, who have, again, a really good offense. So they shouldn't have any problem running through the Commanders. It's going to be a big day for both the Broncos offense and defense. The Commanders defense hasn't shown much greatness throughout the games that they've won so far this season. And the offense there without Jaden Daniels, it's pretty stagnant. I mean, Marcus Mariota, journeyman, can get the ball out, but it's not going to really be the same impact as the former Rookie of the Year. And the receiving room, yeah, it's great for the Commanders. You have Deebo Samuel, you've got Terry McLaurin, you got Zach Ertz out there. There's some good receivers, but I'd really be more focused on the run game for the Commanders, and that's something that the Broncos can stop. We know that they can stop that. So the defense for the Broncos should be up for a big, big day on Sunday.
Yeah, and the Commanders are right with the Broncos at the middle of the pack. Total offense. Broncos average 335 yards per game. Commanders average 330. So that's about similar. But now this week, you got to factor in the injured quarterback and the Broncos defense in that for the Commanders. But the other side of the ball, the Commanders are below the Cowboys and the Giants in total defense. They're 31st in the league. They're only better than the Bengals, which, again, we've talked about this, is not quite an accomplishment, I'd say. Being better than the Bengals at defense.
That's the bar. The bar. It's a low bar to clear.
This is a bad defense, and this really needs to be. I'm not going to say this needs to be a game where Bo Nix has 310 yards and 3 touchdowns. Not by any means. Like you said, get the win. This does need to be a game where Denver figures out how they're going to run the football. And against the Chiefs, we didn't really see a whole lot of success running the ball. I think Harvey had 11 carries for 30 yards in that game. Is he going to be the main guy? Are they going to do this committee thing with Jaleel McLaughlin? What are they going to do? And you have a team that is not good overall on defense, and they're not great at anything. They're a little better against the run. I mean, they're only like in the bottom 20. Sorry, they're 25th in run instead of 31st in total defense. So it's not like the worst thing. Like, it's a little better. I'm trying to make excuses for this team, but you got to figure out the run game. I think on offense is the big thing. And hey, we're missing Dobbins. Last week, Chiefs was a good team. Just figure out how to win. This week, we can maybe experiment a little more. Hey, how's Harvey going to do? Doing a lot of first and second down. How is McLaughlin going to do? Maybe if we give him a first down carry here and there. Really kind of experiments. And I think it's a good game to figure out how they're going to run the ball without Dobbins going forward.
Yeah, no, I really like that. Because it's not a game where you have to have the run game playing at their top level. It's not a game where you expect everybody to fit in seamlessly and know their exact roles. I think that a committee is actually the smart move going up against a team like this, because this is a perfect opportunity to get some reps in. Think of this as a practice game when you're out in the preseason playing against the Cardinals and J.K. Dobbins is out there running. This is the kind of game where you just get your new running backs focused and into the playbook and have them in at their designated times and see how they run in those scenarios up against a very poor defense. Sure, the ball is going to be thrown a lot. It's going to be thrown a lot. That's just the way Sean Payton is. You're going to see Bo Nix probably throw the ball 32 times. That's probably where he's going to throw it about. So we're going to see the ball be thrown in the air a lot, but the run game needs to be formulated and running this weekend. That's the bottom line. Need to have the run game looking solid. And then you get another week up against the Raiders where you can continue to establish the new Denver Broncos run game without J.K. Dobbins. You have 2 great weeks to establish a new kind of run game without your leader, without a top 5. When he was playing, he was top 5 in rushing yards. And it just goes to show how big of a blow that J.K. Dobbins injury is. But the run game should look good. Going up against a terrible team with the offensive line that the Broncos have, anybody should be able to escape through those holes. I hope it's RJ Harvey. Is there somebody else that you were hoping is the main guy, or is it going to be RJ?
This guy's a second-round draft pick. You need to see what you get out of your second-round draft pick. I think he's good. Like, I have faith in RJ Harvey. He just hasn't gotten opportunities yet. I think that this should be a game where he gets 20 carries like Dobbins was getting. And, hey, what do we really have in this guy? What does he need to improve on? What can we do? But you brought up the Knicks thing. Like, this is still Sean Payton Bo Nix. At least he's going to be throwing the ball a bunch. Knicks is still 4th in the NFL in pass attempts with 387. Like, we know how much this Broncos team throws the ball. Even if it's a screen game, a check down, kind of an extension of the run game, we still know that they're going to be throwing it a lot. So, I don't know. I would really, really love to see Harvey get 20 carries. Knowing that Sean Payton is the guy with the play sheet in his hand, yelling into Bo Nix's headset, I don't think that's going to be the case, sadly.
Yeah. And we know how I feel about RJ. You saying that you think he's a good running back actually kind of stung me a little bit. I was like, ugh, I don't know about that. I haven't seen anything too great out of this guy yet. But hey, you know what? Here's the opportunity, RJ. This is your chance. Go out and do something. I'm rooting for you. I really am. I'm rooting for him to succeed. It's not like I want him to fail. I don't know how much success is to be found in him. I wish there was more, but I'm seeing more success around some other running backs that were drafted before and after Harvey, after Jahdae Barron, that are having more success in this league than we've seen from Harvey. So, I mean, there are chances for him to succeed. I hope that he can. I just don't know how much I'm counting on that to happen. But yeah, Broncos opening up as 6.5-point favorites. What do you think the final score is going to be? I think they cover. I want to hear your prediction for the score before we move on to the next one.
24-10, they cover. You know, good defense game. Offense might. There's going to be some 3 and outs. There's going to be some frustration where we're sitting there looking at the TV like, why is that the play call? Why is RJ Harvey not getting the football? But 24-10, you know, it's going to be on primetime, and we all know the last primetime game they played in was a nightmare. So I think that this one should be pretty handily. This Washington team is old, and they're injured, and they're not having a good season. Last year was great for them. We know how much fun that was, but different story this time around, and I just don't think that they'll be able to come close to scoring enough points on this Broncos defense.
Yeah, I like that. I think that the Broncos are going to take a page out of the 49ers book and win 20-9. So if you have the Commanders kicker in fantasy, you better start him. It's going to be 20-9. That's just what I see. I don't know. I'm seeing 2 touchdowns, 1 to Bo, 1 to Harvey, and then a couple field goals for Will the Thrill Lutz. But it'll be a fun game. I'm going to be tuning in. Definitely excited to see them back in action after the bye week. And they should be coming out swinging. This should be a game where the defense looks really hot. I mean, bye weeks matter a lot for defense. I mean, getting those bodies rested and then getting back out of a field against a team like the Commanders, this is going to be, they're going to have a field day out there with Marcus Mariota back in the pocket. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch that. But we should move on because the Nuggets, new big 3 without Christian Brown and without Aaron Gordon, looked pretty dominant. You'd think that the big 3 would be the 3 starters remaining, but no. The big 3 of Jokic, Jamal, and Payton Watson looked pretty good last night, beating the Grizzlies 125-115. Oh boy, what a game. And I'm just going to preface this first before we get into more about this game. Zeke Naji had an all right game. Yeah, an okay game. What do you think about Zeke Naji? What do you think about your boy Spencer Jones? Not looking very good. There was a lot to see in that game yesterday.
So first of all, we'll get the main thing out of the way. Another Jokic triple-double. He hits that half quarter where it's just nothing but net. He just doesn't even – it looks like he's shooting a mid-range jump shot, but it's from half court. And then he has that pass, that left-handed wraparound pass to Watson at the very end, which was crazy. So, you know, 17, 10, and 16.
16.
Another Jokic game. So,
Eh.
but we are living in a world where Payton Watson is taking 22 field goal attempts in a game. Like,
and you know what? I like this world. I like the world that I'm living in.
Like he's scored 27 points, 5 for 12 from 3. Now, if he shoots like that, like then you got to give him a contract this offseason. He hasn't been shooting like that. That's obviously why he didn't get extended, but 12 threes for Payton Watson is like a little scary for me, but hey, it's been fun this week. You know, he's had 2 good games. We'll see how it keeps going as teams start to be like, hey, like this guy's going to be a scorer for them now. Jamal, good Jamal game, 11 for 21, 6 for 9 from distance, 29 points, leading scorer on the team. And then, yeah, I mean, Zeke Naji hit 2 threes, you know, really up in his trade value. Hope another team sees him really.
Let's all say nice things about Zeke Naji right now. We love him. He's the best player. I don't want to see him go. Any team would be lucky to have him. Clip that and let's send it out to every single team in the league. Clip that right there and send it out to the Kings.
Look at that. He's a +5, you know, he's playing winning basketball. And then I'm looking at Tim Hardaway and Bruce Brown, though. They had the 2 highest plus minuses on the team at +15. You know, they didn't exactly stuff the stat sheet, but when they were in, that team was really, really, really humming, playing some good basketball. And I just love what those 2 have brought to the table this year. So great all-around game, I thought. You know, my boy Spencer Jones, he's going to come around. Not his best night. It's okay. Everybody has an off night. But
he got the starting nod, though.
He got the starting nod.
He got the starting nod in place of Aaron Gordon with his injury. They're running a big lineup. You know, they've got 4 bigs.
That's a huge
Cam Johnson as a big.
Yeah.
That's a big lineup. The only short guy or the only non-big playing in the starting lineup yesterday was Jamal Murray. It's strange.
Yeah.
I mean, we both thought yesterday that Tim Hardaway Jr. was likely to be the starter, and they didn't. They went a completely opposite direction and say, maybe we need some more defense on the starting lineup.
And I liked it. And, you know, and like you said, like Jones is 225 pounds, 6'7". Payton Watson, we know he's 6'8", and his arms are like, he's got like a 25-foot wingspan. So really leaning into that defense. And, you know, last night, you know, you're not playing a great Grizzlies team by any means, but they shot 46% from the field, 34% from 3. I thought that was right. They had 11 turnovers, you know, so maybe Adelman's going to lean into the Nico Harrison a little bit and say, hey, defense wins championships, but took care of business. And last week, the big thing last week is when they went 2-2, they didn't take care of business against the Kings and the Bulls, 2 inferior teams that they should have beat. Last night, they took care of business. This is what good teams handedly beat the bad teams in this league. That's why the Thunder are so good. They haven't played a good schedule by any means. They played one of the weakest schedules in league history through this point, but they're beating these teams by 20, 25, 30 points, and that's what you need to see. And so seeing Nuggets shorthanded go on the road, take care of business in simple fashion was great to see.
Yeah, no, and Payton Watson was just a flamethrower.
22 shots.
22 shots. I love that. I thought of this last week, and I want to say it now, and I want to get just your reaction on this, but I was thinking about Payton Watson and what his value is. And when I'm thinking about value for a player, I'm thinking about their ceiling and their floor. For Payton Watson, his floor, I mean, this is his floor right now. This is the worst he's going to be. This is the worst.
Oh, I'd say the playoffs. He was not great in that OKC series.
Yeah, no, not great. But I mean, like, that's the worst he's going to be. Like he's only going to continue to improve. Like moving forward in the future, he's only going to continue to improve. His floor, though, like realistically, is a Zeke Naji. That's his floor. Yeah. He's already surpassed that. He's the same kind of build, same kind of player. You're hoping for an athletic, strong guy who can go up and block shots and put up some threes. Zeke Naji can do that on a very minimal scale. And Payton Watson can do it on a bigger level.
And Watson's way more of an athlete than Naji too. Like they're both forwards who can shoot a little bit, but we know what Zeke Naji brings to the table. He brings some great trade value to the table, Kings. But Payton Watson is like a defensive freak who makes crazy blocks night in and night out. And he can get to the rim so fast because his strides are so long. And like the rim, I've said it before, like his rim finishing was so bad. He was missing layups. He was missing bunnies in the playoffs last year. So He's just got to polish his offensive game, and he's in a great position to do so. He hasn't gotten this kind of chance. And I think, hey, if Gordon and Brown are out till the new year, but you got Watson who's really kind of stepping into his own, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world because, hey, this guy really unlocked a level of his game that he was never going to hit in Denver before until he had to because of these injuries.
Yeah. So with that being his floor, Zeke Najee's already surpassed it. His ceiling, I would say, is Anthony Davis. I mean,
that's crazy.
I mean, I don't know if it is. Look at how Anthony Davis played when he was young. Like in college, Payton Watson right now is what Anthony Davis was in college. And Payton Watson's still young.
Anthony Davis had more blocks than some teams had in college.
Yeah, he led like the entire SEC in blocks when he played it. He was at Kentucky, right?
He led the country in blocks.
Yeah, like he led teams though, like entire teams. Like he led all the SEC teams in blocks, like teams. Payton Watson is a great shot blocker, and he's only going to continue to get better if he keeps training at that level. He's a better shooter, I'd say, in certain aspects and certain, certain cases than Anthony Davis. If he cleans it up and is consistent, if he's given that same amount of field goal attempts every single game, if he's given that level of freedom, yeah, he's Anthony Davis. He could be. I mean, I don't see why there's not a comparison to be made there.
Anthony Davis was a generational prospect, and he was the number one option on a Lakers team that won the title in 2020.
Nobody's the number one option except for Luka next to LeBron.
LeBron was playing more of a magical. I like Payton Watson, but Anthony Davis is like Pelicans. Anthony Davis was dropping 50 in his sleep. Like,
he was
Anthony
great.
Davis is a different level than a lot of people in this league, and that's no disrespect to Payton Watson, but Anthony Davis is generational.
You don't think that if Payton Watson keeps trending up, he can't be an Anthony Davis?
No, I don't think that.
Why?
I don't think
just because of like the difference in how they play similar. They play very similar. Do they not?
But Anthony Davis has a face-up post game that Payton Watson doesn't have. Payton Watson's is all drives and Jokic hitting him in the corner. Anthony Davis is able to run iso ball facing up at 18 feet. He's able to hit that midi over somebody. He's able to drive, get to the rim, and then he's one of the best shot blockers this league has seen. Like, again, it's nothing against Watson, and Watson's something? More of an outside player. Davis is a big guy.
Payton Watson is one of the best shot blockers in the league right now, too.
Yeah, he's a great shot blocker, but Anthony Davis is a different level than a lot of people.
I mean, you can teach a post-up game. And do the Nuggets need a post-up player when they have Nikola Jokic? If Payton Watson were to go to a team like Charlotte right now, it would be the same value. Like, he could bring that same kind of value. Like, if he goes to a team that doesn't have anybody that can be a post-up player, doesn't have somebody that can, I mean, I guess LaMelo can hit players. Like, he's a fine passer. I think he's incredibly overrated as a passer. But if Payton Watson was giving a scoring role where he's told that he is the number one option on the team, he needs to go out there like Anthony Davis did on the Pelicans and put up 50 points to save their team from continuing to collapse. I have faith that he could do it. That just goes to show how much of a contract he could get this summer. That's the scary thing. Is if I'm saying it, maybe I'm just completely wrong. Maybe I'm an insane person. I very well could be. However, there's probably some GMs out there that are looking at Payton Watson and saying, this guy's got something. This guy's got something that we want on our team.
Yeah, the thing is, if he keeps playing like this, he's going to play himself right off the Nuggets because the Nuggets won't be able to afford him. So it'll be interesting to watch if he's able to keep growing or if it plateaus or if it kind of goes back to normal. But if he keeps playing like this, there's no reality in which the Nuggets can afford to bring him back next year.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can because I love him. I'm buying a P-Watt jersey. My lucky number is number 8. Gotta love P-Watt. I love what he brings. I think he's the next Anthony Davis. Trent doesn't think so. That'll end it for today's show. Thank you guys so much for joining. Trent, it's been such a pleasure. I know we all wish you the best on your future endeavors. Thank you so much for being here. I had a lot of fun hosting this show with you, and I hope you continue to tune in when we're having some more fun moving on next week when we get back. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. We will see you all on Monday, taking the next 3 days off. Go enjoy your Thanksgiving. Forget about the Broncos for a little bit because you know that this week should be a blowout. But make sure you tune in because we'll be back on Monday talking about that. But thank you guys so much for joining. We will see you all later. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day and a great long weekend. Bye, y'all.